So there are two big deals coming from Nationwide Building Society that are well worth checking out. There is a bank switching deal worth £200, potentially up to £600, and there's a new regular saver paying 8%. So I'll take you through both of those. So if you do want to take advantage, you can. As ever, if you want more details on all of these, then head over to becleverwithyourcash.com. That's my website where myself and the team are always updating the information. There's a kind of more, all the things I'm going to talk about right now, you're going to find over there. And let's start with that bank switching deal. And we'll go over to the site. I'll share my screen here so you can see my little summary table as part of that article. This switching bonus from Nationwide is worth £200. As I say, there is a way you might be able to get this more than once, which I'll come back to. Now, this bonus is quite a quick paying bonus as well. Once the switch has completed, you'll get the money within 10 days. So not as fast as the Lloyd's one that's currently running, but still pretty decent one. Now, in this one, it's slightly more complicated than some of the others. Not massively, but there's more steps you have to make sure you do meet. And a lot of those things you have to do in advance. First of all, you have to open up a new Nationwide current account. And that's either the Flex account, the Flex Direct, or the Flex Plus. It has to be one of those if you are new to Nationwide. If you're an existing customer and already have one of those, that is fine. You don't have to open a new one. You can use an existing one. You then need to switch over, as you do with all these switching deals, from a different bank into either your existing or new Nationwide account. And as part of that switch, as you always do, you have to close the old account. So really important during your application for the new account, during that switch process which you're doing, you have to make sure you tick that box that's saying close the old account to make sure it is a full switch. Otherwise, you won't get the money. Now, this switch doesn't require any cash to be deposited, doesn't require any checking your online banking, any of those things, but it does require you to have 2 direct debits moving over as part of the switch. So you cannot set these direct debits up in the account once you open it or after the switch. They have to be in the old account that you are transferring from. And those 2 direct debits have to be active. Now, what does active mean? Active technically means the money has to have been paid out of the account already. I think maybe when this offer ran last year, people said that maybe they didn't have to be. That wasn't necessarily the case, but I would err on the side of caution and I would make sure that the money has come out of those direct debits before you transfer them across. Now, if you already have direct debits on the old account you're moving, whether it's a normal account or a dummy account, then that's fine. If you don't, then check out the video, which I'll link to in the corner up top, which takes you through some quick and fast direct debits you can set up within a matter of days, rather than sometimes direct debits take a month to set up. These ones can be active and paid out of the old account really fast. So have a look at those. Make sure they're on the old account before you switch. Now, it could be when you're starting this switch with Nationwide, you want to, you can set the date obviously a bit further ahead. And if you want to ensure those direct debits are paid out, maybe you want the switch to complete in, say, a month's time. What you need to be aware of is for the offer to count, you have to have completed the switch within 60 days of opening the account. So that's your overall timeline. Within 60 days, you obviously do it quite fast if you want, 10 working days to complete a switch, or 7 working days or 10 days to complete a switch. But either way, just make sure you've got enough time for those direct debits to have been paid out. And that is pretty much as simple as that. The only other criteria, and this is a really big one, is that you cannot have had switching money from Nationwide since the 18th of August 2021. And that is when they first introduced their switching deals. So there were some kind of ones before that which were a little bit different, maybe refer a friend deals and stuff, which are fine. But if you've had the switching deals since August of 2021, you won't be able to get the cash again. However, as I said, there is potentially a way to get more than just that £200 because Nationwide, unlike all the other banks and building societies, although no other building societies have done it, but all the other bank switching offers that have been around will let you get the offer once for your personal account and once for your joint account. So if you have already had this offer from a personal account, you can get it again as a joint account, as long as you or the other person in the joint account hasn't already had money as part of switching into the joint account. So if you are a couple completely new to Nationwide, you can open up an individual account, Nationwide account each, and switch into that. And then you can open up a joint account together and switch into that. And that could give you, as a couple, a total of £600. And even if you both had it individually already, but neither of you have had the money for the joint account, then you can get another £200 now. So well worth a look. So that is the bank switching deal. Let's talk now instead about the regular saver, which is launched at the same time. Now, regular savers, for those of you who aren't familiar with them, are often the highest paying savings accounts out there. And this new one at 8% at the time of recording this cannot be beaten. It is right at the top. So it is a really good one to make sure you're getting the most you can possibly get, most interest on your savings, and also one that beats inflation. Most recent rate, 6.7%. Obviously, that's looking like it's on a downward trend, so more accounts will beat it, but at the moment, only a handful do. Now, some people get confused about with regular savers, and I have got a whole video explaining how they work. The figures in there are obviously a while back, but the general principles in the top end of that video is about how regular savers work. It's really important to watch that if you're a bit confused, because you get 8%, which is amazing. But regular savers, or monthly savers as they're often known, limit how much money you can put in every single month. So as we get to in this one, it's £200 is the most you can put in every single month. Over a year, that's £2,400 in the account. It is not 8% on that final balance, £2,400. It's 8% on what's in the account each month. So the first month, if you put the full £200 in, that is £200. We'll earn 8% for a year. But the next month, if you put 200 quid in again, well, it's only going to be there for 11 out of the 12 months. So you'll get 11/12 of the same of what that 8% would be, and so on. But it's still, for the money for that period of time, is going to be the highest you can get, at least right now. So let's quickly go over to the blog again. I've got a full analysis taking you more detail if you do want to read it at becleverwithyourcash.com. But this is a nationwide flex regular saver. As the name suggests, you have to have a nationwide current account to open this one up. And if you're doing the switching deal, then you're fine, because you're getting the cash for that. And then you're also getting able to open up this regular saver. Now, this is called Issue 2. There is already a regular saver that hasn't been available for a few months now, but you might already have this. That's fine. If you've already got one that's open, you can open up one of these new regular savers as well at 8%. The old one's not going to change. That's still going to be at whatever rate you've got on it, but you can open up an additional one. However, you can only have one of these 8% paying accounts per person. So you open it up and that's it. As I said, maximum you can put into this every single month is £200. There is no minimum. So if you miss a month, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to put any cash in if you don't want to. But obviously, if you don't do that in a month, that £200 allowance does not carry forward. You can't suddenly put 400 in the following month. So if you don't use it in that month, you will lose that potential to add that maximum amount in each month. What else to tell about you is, this is an interesting thing. This is where it's different to many other regular savers and different to the previous nationwide flex regular saver. This 8% rate is there. It's fine. It's there for you. Unless you make 4 or more withdrawals from the account. If you do, it drops down to 2.15% from the date of that 4th withdrawal onwards. So it's great that you can make 3 withdrawals with no penalty, because most regular savers, or many regular savers, don't let you take money out. So in that sense, that's fantastic. But you really want to be avoiding taking money out a 4th time. If you get to a 3rd withdrawal on it and you're thinking, I might need to get money out again later on, then take more out at that stage. But ideally, because it's such a high rate, you want to keep the money in here for the entire duration if you possibly can. That's really important to know about. Now, in order to get this one, I say you have to have a nationwide current account. You have to be over the age of 16. You also have to make sure you put money into the account within a certain number of days. I think, 1 second, I have got it written down just here. Within 28 days, at least £1 has to be added within 28 days. So just make sure you do that. The actual monthly, those £200 every month, that is a calendar month as well. So a word of warning, if you open this up towards the end of a calendar month, make sure you put that money in as soon as you can, because otherwise there's a chance that you might miss out on the allocation for that calendar month. And what can you earn from this? Let's quickly have a kind of a share with you what you might be able to earn, just to give you a sense of what it's actually going to be. So let's say you have put in £50 a month. The total interest you'd get after a year will be £26. If you put £100 in every single month, the total interest after a year is £51. And if you put the full £200 in for the entire year and don't touch it at all, then you'll get £104 in interest at the end of the year. So yeah, certainly that top one, £104, that is really well worth looking at if you can save £200 every single month. In terms of how this compares to the other regular savers, I'll probably do a larger comparison when I do my October savings rate update. But there is a 7% paying account from First Direct and a 6.25% account paying from Lloyds with a Club Lloyds account. Both of those also have switch bonuses you can take advantage of. And obviously, if you wanted to, you could have all three of those if you have enough money to pay into them every single month. The difference is the Nationwide one, as I say, lets a maximum of £200. The First Direct one lets you pay £300 in, and the Club Lloyds one lets you pay £400 in. So there is a potential there, obviously. If you don't want to faff around with multiple accounts, you might want to go with one of the lower rate ones and put the full amount in to get that higher rate. But certainly I'm going to be opening up one of these Nationwide ones at 8%, even at just £200. Like just £200, that's still really good, and giving that a go. As I said, full analysis of these over on becleveryourcash.com, and I'll be back with an October update on all the best savings accounts and all the best current account deals in just a few weeks' time. So if any more pop along, I'll let you know about them then. My name is Andy Webb. Thank you so much for watching. You can check out these videos here for more ways to get the most from your bank. Till next time, cheers.